And we're here in game number 2. We've had a bit of a break. The patch has unraveled with many new exciting features. We'll hear plenty more about those over in the coming weeks. Check out Reddit if you haven't seen it to see what's in it. But right now, guys, we're here live with the Corsair Summit 2013 Gaming Tournament. There's now a Dota TV ticket, so be sure to check that out if you're interested. $3 to support Corsair, to support the tournament. And you can also check out our new Elgato crew, which actually you get views for watching any tournament we cast, whether or not it's actually a tournament associated with, there aren't actually tournaments associated with the crews, it's associated with Beyond the Summit, with the casters, with myself, with LD. LD, man, how you doing?
Fantastic, Gods. Game 2, Virtus Pro versus NEXT.kz. Surprisingly, you'd think it'd be VP having an easy time of it. NEXT.kz did not look good at all in their first series. They got crushed, and they got crushed by rox.kis with a stand-in. I didn't even feel rox.kis was on their A-game. They were throwing away a massive advantage for much of that game. Took forever to close the deal. At NEXT.kz, they took it on the back of a Batrider, a Wisp, and a really strong snowballing start. So heading into Game 2, how do you feel about this draft so far? Does it look good for NEXT.kz, or do you think VP have the tools they need to force a Game 3?
All the games VP have lost have been Wisp, which was banned up by NEXT.kz, mostly because VP had the first pick, I imagine, which was smart of NEXT.kz, but I just hope if it goes to a Game 3 that VP do ban off the Wisp. They've been giving away that hero way too much here. As far as this draft start, the Silencer being picked up very early on is the big thing here. Hero which VP like to run as a support, and we'll have to see how it fits into their lineup. It does sort of tip off NEXT.kz nice and early on to not pick up any heroes which get too hard counted by this, though.
Yeah, it's frankly pretty cocky to give away Wisp like that. In general, I feel, in the Western seed especially, where teams know how to use the hero, where teams like to be aggressive, especially in Russian Dota, split pushing, forcing fights, Wisp is the ultimate punisher. And if you give it away, you got to have a game plan. They didn't. They paid for it. They do ban it in this game, so enough about the Wisp. Actually, a Doombraider ban here. I have not seen NEXT.kz run that hero at all, but worried perhaps about his ability to shut down Batrider when he blinks in and looks for a last. So NEXT.kz will, however, get another thorn in the side of Batrider players around the world. It's the Nyx. You jump in with the Firefly, he walks into it with Carapace, and all of a sudden, your perfect initiation has quite a few blemishes on it.
Yeah, this is a powerful hero to have, and something which is nice against Batrider because the Carapace you can easily trigger it on the Firefly. So it's a strong potential solo mid hero. Can also fit into that support role, which is why Nyx Assassin is so great as an early or just to pick up whenever in the draft, because you don't really give away too much about your lanes. VP going to pick up their other support, so already they've got both their support heroes. It's very rarely that we've seen Silencer as a solo or carry. When he first came into the CM pool, one or two teams tried him as a solo mid. But teams quickly realized his best role wasn't that support spot.
By the way, I'm not sure I think it's your microphone. There seems to be quite a lot of feedback. I'm not sure if you have a fan going on the mic or anything like that, but if there's anything you could do to fix it.
Are you getting it on your end as well, or just in the...
Yeah, at least I'm hearing it on my headphones, and it seems like the stream chat is as well.
Okay, I've moved my laptop away from my mic, which my laptop is making a bit of noise, but it shouldn't be too bad.
There's a little bit of feedback, and stream is saying there's no audio. I'm gonna go double check that real quick, and in the meantime, keep on casting.
Okay, sounds good, man. We are gonna have Doombringer banned, Puck banned, Naga Siren as well as a Darkseid banned out by the two teams here. NEXT.kz have a fourth pick coming up. As guys in the stream chat, be sure to let us know, of course. Let us know how the audio is going. We've just got a bit of a makeshift setup here going for the Corsair Gaming Tournament. You should be able to hear me if you're in Dota TV, though. I'm broadcasting my audio directly into that. Maybe that's why we're getting some feedback. I'm having at Dota TV mess things up. But the fourth pick coming up for NEXT.kz, they've got their most likely their two supports. Nyx Assassin, of course, can as a solo mid, but we've been seeing more and more of him in that support role. They need some kind of a solo mid. They also need their offlaner here as well. So a lot of those strong offlaners banned out. Nature's Prophet no longer in the pool. As is, same goes for Darks here. So we'll see something else along those lines. As okay, you guys in the chat. Apparently, chat's catching up a bit now. It seems non-ideal. I can actually put the stream on myself. Okay, it is getting some feedback. LD man, how's it sounding there? Any better? I hope.
Let's
Next.
restart the call.
All right, restart the call.
10 seconds remaining.
Okay.
Slog.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds.
Things sounding better now, guys? Let us know. As always, my microphone seems to be a bit low with Dota. Yeah, I can actually no, I can't change Dota.
Hopefully things are better. We might have to make some... I'm putting my headset on now. Sorry about that, guys. We do not have a producer for these games, so it is a little bit sloppy. I do apologize for that. I am not getting quite as bad feedback. There is a little bit of a rumbling, but I think it's better now. We'll just have to wait and see if the stream chat has good audio levels. So, guys, when you hear this, well, I'm fixing my mic, so... All right, there we go. So, guys, when you hear this, let us know if our audio levels are equal to each other. If not, we will make some adjustments.
Yeah, hope everything else is okay. Dota TV as well. Feel free to message us, tweet at us, whatever it may be. I had one person saying I was a bit low in Dota TV. Unfortunately, Dota TV levels we can't really adjust all too much because it's meant to be all done on the Valve end to balance things out. But we have a draft underway. NEXT.kz have actually picked up a Slark as their most likely their solo mid role.
Yeah, Slark the choice and a fantastic hero to punish a Batrider pick. You can actually Dark Pack out of Global Silence and Lasso. So if he gets that off at the right time, Virtus Pro's initiation on him could be completely futile. And the other nice thing about Slark is he blows up squishy support. So Silencer, Rubik, they don't have that much burst damage. And I'm a little bit concerned for VP. That's really where you run into trouble versus Slark. If you can't just kill that hero immediately in a fight, things often go awry.
Yeah, we'll have to see if they've got enough burst damage. Silencer feels pretty nice. I'm not sure how all the mechanics there will work with the last word in the Dark Pack, but could be a nice little hero to have there. Queen of Pain offers a lot of burst damage, and they last pick a Brewmaster, so could even be an offlane Slark. Maybe they go for an offensive tri-lane and put something like Slark in the safe lane. This is an interesting draft coming out from NEXT.kz. Some heroes you don't see a whole lot of, especially the Brewmaster. I feel this hero has sort of faded out, but he's still so strong, especially as a solo mid.
It's going to be a Panda Brewmaster as the final selection. NEXT.kz's 5-man is insane. I am really digging their draft. VP, they are quite reliant on getting off the global into Lasso initiation. I feel that's the one weakness of their draft is they really have to find those pickoffs in the early to mid game. If it goes to mid game and they're not ahead, I feel like they're in trouble. Of course, there is Grievel's Greed. That could be your X factor. But at the end of the day, if NEXT.kz has equal farm to VP, and they have enough items that Bat can't just find pickoffs all over the map, I think they'll be in absolutely fantastic shape. They could take this game too. Based on this draft, I think they should feel pretty confident.
Yeah, I like NEXT.kz's draft, and something which is going to put Virtus Pro outside of their comfort zone, playing against a Slark, playing against a Brewmaster. These kind of heroes, and VP have decided to go for more or less a standard sort of semi-full protect one kind of strategy. They're going to having a farming alchemist, maybe going to go somewhat aggressive with. Actually, it looks like they may go aggressive with it because they're going to have Batrider heading directly towards the bottom lane.
Well, we'll introduce the entire team. First for VP, it is going to be the Batrider being handled by KSI. He's normally the off-lane player or the side lane solo. And actually, do we really get a ching sound or a ding every time? A cha-ching every time an item's purchased? That's pretty cool. We'll have KSI playing the Bat Rider. Tame My Wild or Crazy on the Queen of Pain. Illidan Storm Range handling the Alk. He'll be going for the level 1 concoction. ars-art on the Silencer. Oh my goodness. I don't know about that ping, but it is certainly drawing my attention. Jada Medved, he'll be your stand-in. And he's handling the Rubik. And off the back, what a fucker. Boots first.
Jeez.
What is he up to here? Trying to...
He's going off lane here. He's going to try to pull the creep wave in the off lane, and I don't think he's been spotted yet. Oh, he's going to get spotted.
Oh no.
He's
Well,
been seen.
he has gone for leap at level 1. There's plenty of ways for him to get out of dodge. He'll have to jump up this hill and look to escape. Jada
He may
Medved.
actually die here.
Well, he's run back
He's
in.
surrounded. The
He's...
problem is he's surrounded. Rubik is on the high ground waiting for him. He can lift him back to the low ground.
Oh no.
Yeah.
He jumped into the Rubik. Needed to get a bit farther up the cliff, and now it's going to be your first blood. This is not the start the NEXT.kz wanted. Wow. VP, I don't think they knew he was going to do that, but they 5-man into their own jungle, and they just happened to barely come into vision of him, setting up for their defensive tri-lane.
A bit of luck going their way here or there, whatever you want to call it. It's something which VP will be very happy about. Slark, if he got where he wanted to behind between the tier 2 and tier 3 tower to pull the creep wave, it would have helped him a lot in the offlane, but now he's going to struggle. He can't try that trick anymore. Rubik and Silence are going to be waiting for him. Also, he's missed that first wave, so this offlane is lost.
Honestly, though, I feel that's so unnecessary. Like, what is a Rubik and a Silencer going to do to you at level 1? If you're just going between the tier 1 and tier 2, that is a much safer play. You don't have to basically put yourself into the no man's land, where if you get caught, you can easily be surrounded and picked off. Mid lane, Tame My Wild takes a lot of damage. Really, really nice diving for this. Does he really think he can get the kill? What is NEXT.kz up to this game? Well, they really want to slow down this Bat Rider jungle, but they are investing a lot to do it. It's 2 heroes just to slow down 1. They do isolate him. The latch is there. There's no Impale, unfortunately. I don't think they have enough burst to get the kill. And I think if I'm VP, I'm okay with this, because,
He's going to turn this around. Rubik's here. They're going to kill the Slark again, maybe.
Oh, no.
He's got 3 napalm stacks. He's taking so much damage from these auto attacks from the Bat Rider. He's dead. One more auto attack. Napalm needs to get a bit closer. He's going to try to salve up. He's got to leap. He may actually survive this, but he needs to go up the cliff and avoid the tower. It looks like he'll do just that.
And he will, but Silencer's waiting. Mr. ars-art here to at least make him feel an extra bit of hurting. Get away from my Bat Rider. He says, meanwhile, really, really nice, is going to end up going down to Tame My Wild. They are investing way too much to shut down this jungle Bat Rider. And in doing so, they fed away 2 kills. They haven't really stopped him. I mean, they've slowed him down, but now he'll just go back to doing what he does best, which is... Well, actually, I guess he was forced to take Sticky Napalm. So, that does slow down his jungle a lot. But now that they know he's Sticky Napalm, they should just back off and stop dying to try and slow him down.
Yeah, and he can just go leech a bit of XP in mid lane, or just kill he can kill the small camp quite easily just with Sticky Napalm to get that level 2. And as long as he's stacking this big camp over and over again, it's not going to slow down his jungle too much, except right initially. But once he gets that big camp stacked up, kills it off, he'll be caught up right away.
I still go back to that first blood, and I don't understand why you couldn't just go here, like a normal creep skip. I'm not sure why I guess he figured he could be a little bit cheekier, sneak by them, but it's just such a risky play. And that tri-lane, Silencer Rubik, how do they actually kill you at level 1? Alchemist is going to be farming the creep wave. They can slow you down, sure. They can chip away at you, but they are not going to kill you. That was, well, a little bit too bold, I feel. But
they're not going to kill you. They can maybe zone you out of the lane just by right-click harass. It's one of those things where you just don't want to be... You're not trading hits, you're just taking hits because of their range.
And he had boots first, and he was pulled, so I feel like they couldn't have actually done that much harassment. You know, guys, it's been so much chaos. We never introduced NEXT.kz properly. What a fucka, the Slark. They'll go in mid now. Stallcat is going to be playing your Panda. Really, really nice. It's just a parade of melee heroes into the mid lane, handling the Nyx Assassin. Reeves on the safe lane Shadow Demon. That is not Dota Cinema's Reeves, and now Mantis, playing the Gyro. He's your carry player. Well, we got both teams introduced. It only took us 3 minutes.
We're off to a good start. This is our, as you guys know, we had a bit of a break here because of the patch, but we're back in action now. Slark's still trying to be as annoying as possible in this jungle. Bat Rider, yeah, he's only just going to hit level 2 now. He's got himself a triple stack on the big cap though, so he'll get up to level 4 or 5 when he kills that, but it may take him a bit of time to actually kill it off.
Yeah, I mean, he actually can kill it without really taking damage. You just stack the napalm up until it's like 7 or 8, and then you go mid lane. Tame My Wild, this dual lane is not working, because they're not killing him, and he's hit level 5. They're delaying the Panda's level 6 to do it. I would really prefer to see really, really nice just stacking, pulling, farming his level 6. It's an empty lane top. They are going to take a tier 1, but now VP may rotate a hero. They're going to jump in mid. Tame My Wild, Shadow Strike up on Stallcat. If the evasion isn't there, this could be a kill. He needs 1, maybe 2 more auto attacks. He's going to die to poison ticks. There is no deny. In comes the Nyx. It's too late. This dual lane mid is a total and abysmal failure. They haven't stopped the jungle Batrider either. Now he's going to farm a triple stack. This game is going from bad to worse in a hurry for NEXT.kz. They're leading on gold, but that is only temporary.
Yeah, this is absolutely not going well at all. Maybe we're going to find... No, they're not going to get the kill on Nyx Assassin. He's going to escape away, but regen rune for Queen of Pain. The perfect rune that Queen of Pain wanted just now, and back towards mid lane.
All that mana burn. He's been mana burning the Queen of Pain for a good 5 minutes. All for naught now.
NEXT.kz are going to have this bottom lane pushed out, which will get Slack some much needed levels, but he's now sharing it with Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin's like, yo, I want to dual lane this bottom lane. There's some XP here. Slack? Leap forward? I don't know about that.
Well, this game is... I feel like I'm at a circus or something.
Yeah.
So much silliness.
It's been a very unusual game, to say the least.
Yeah, I was not prepared for this, to say the least. I was trying to fix the audio issues, and then all of a sudden, before I even could get my bearings on this game, they've taken me for a bit of a journey. I'm not sure I like this scary place they've brought me to, gods. I want to go back to normal, straightforward, organized. This is chaos.
You want your,
I'm tripping balls, man. I'm tripping balls.
LGD showdowns.
Yeah. Then you know what's gonna happen. This you have no idea. It does make for some great entertainment, though. That's for sure.
And right now, VP are the ones ahead, and VP need to win this game to force that game 3. They're obviously the favorites coming to this series, but they're not playing like it today. They've already lost to IC Cup, and here they are down a game against NEXT.kz.
Of course, with the jungle Batrider, he's level 5 at 6 minutes, and this is just the power of the hero. As long as you get the stacks off, there's not much you can do. I am personally just shocked they're still dual-laning mid. How do you expect to actually kill Tame My Wild? And you're not going to stop him from farming, because he's already level 7. And he can bottle crow freely. These other lanes do not really need the courier. Batrider can just go to the base. They just seem so reluctant to give it up.
I think he's got this kill. I think he's killing his Nyx Assassin here.
He's got 3 bottle charges. He can maybe look to go.
Ooh, I think he expects maybe to have 1 point in Carapace, because all you need is 1 point in Carapace to dodge the screen. But if he knew there was no points in Carapace there, he would have definitely gone for it.
Well, really, really nice. He's really, really going to have to go to base now. That's for sure. Clap on the mid lane, and in comes the silencer. They're going to turn this one around. In comes the bat as well. Lasso's there, but the Panda ult forced out, and now makes it go in KSI. Firefly not available. He's dropping low. He actually is going to lasso the fire creep while running away from it. It still gives chase. The Earth Panda being microed back. ars-art on the hunt. Great micro here. Boulder Toss comes out. Queen of Pain in the air. KSI is low, but he's not dead, and in the end, our Panda, Stallcat, will escape. That was some fantastic Panda micro. Unfortunately, though, he did have to blow his ult just to get away.
Yeah, he had to blow his ult to get away, and Batrider had to blow his ult to get away as well. That less so on the Fire Panda. It's the Panda that does the most damage. It's the one that saved his life, actually, by using that. So both teams blowing an important ultimate early on, which can set them up some kills. A lasso probably less important this early on, because Bat doesn't have a blink dagger yet, so he's happy just to go back to the jungle, farm up his blink, and not worry too much about having to use his ultimate, whereas Panda, he wants to be starting to get his team some kills.
In good news for NEXT.kz, they have a very organized inventory. 5 sets of boots. It just looks so symmetrical for them. Now what do they do from here? Whatafaka has his magic wand up, still not level 6. Illidan, Max Greevil's Greed. Your classic Western alchemist, the Chinese alchemist. Occasionally we see this, but it's normally the solo mid. Rush the mech, be the utility hero. Illidan, he'll go greedy, and why the hell not?
The Mushi alchemist will do this.
That's true.
The Mushi alchemist loves gold.
The Mushi alchemist will do this until the game's over. Well, Whatafaka, he'll leap out, but the stun is going to follow him. The Dark Pact, he never casted it, and as a result, he will be going down here. Tame My Wild. No, it actually goes to Illidan. Even worse. Now 3,000 gold. Do you go Shadowblade here, or do you just go for some sort of farming item? How greedy do you want to be?
They're not stacking a whole lot for him, so I don't think you want to go... if you go farming, you go Battle Fury here, but I think most likely he's just going to get a super fast Shadowblade. It would be really nice to set up kills all over the place, and I think having a Shadowblade at 8.5 minutes in would just do a scary amount of damage. There we go.
The ding! Meanwhile, mid, Tame My Wild does go down. They finally connected and killed him off. They invested so much for that kill.
I'm surprised. I guess I must have been Stalcat baiting because they shouldn't be able to kill him.
Bottom lane, what a fucker. Lifted up, thrown back in, and blown up. Just can't get away. Good burst
Kills all
damage.
over the place.
Yeah, unfortunately, 5 of them on VP. NEXT.kz really struggling here in game number 2. Good news for them and their fans is they are leading the best of 3, 1-0. So even if they go on to lose this game, they still have one last shot to stave off elimination. And Shadowblade City.
This dinging noise is, I don't know, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, if it's like a big item, yeah, but it's doing it for... I feel like there's already too many item pickup notifications as there is, but...
It did it for friggin' smoke. Oh no, Shadowblade just picked up. He gets off the auto attack, then drops the stun, and Mantis is in trouble. And now he's dead.
Has not arrived yet, unfortunately. It was en route on the courier, now turns around to go back home because he is dead.
That's Greevil's Greed in action. Without the Greevil's Greed, well, maybe, just maybe, he doesn't get it quite that fast, and it doesn't end up happening that way. But it does. I think for NEXT.kz, one of the most important thing right now is for them to fight with the Panda when he has Blink, for him to farm a Blink, 600 gold away, and then number 2 is to get level 6 on this Nyx. We're now 10 minutes in. They really need Vendetta initiation in this game. They really need Nyx to be able to set up some kills before VP get too big. Once ars-art hits 6, once they have the next item on the Alk, once they have the Blink Dagger on the bat, which is coming now, VP can just start finding pickoffs. And NEXT.kz, well, their window, I wouldn't say it's closing, but it's starting to feel a little bit narrower.
Yeah. Oh, Gyrocopter actually getting a big neutral stack here that his team have helped out with. But the thing is, a fast Shadowblade on Gyrocopter, you're not really an initiator. It's more an escape thing, if anything. It's an escape thing, it's something that gives you some nice damage, but you can't use it to roam the map and just wreak havoc like an Alchemist can.
They're going in bottom. They're Blink Dagger for KSI. He can get it from the side shop here and then look to go if he'd like. He blinks in. He's got a lasso. It's a little bit too far. I don't think he expected Stallcat to get creep blocked. Had he probably would have continued going in instead of backing off and then jumping forward. But in the end, he will escape. Now going to Firefly some creeps and then farm towards his next item. So the Blink Dagger has been revealed. That is the good thing for NEXT.kz. They dodge a bit of a bullet here.
Top tower is under attack.
This Blink Dagger not being used to effect right off the bat, but it's one of those things where whether or not you even we know about it, you're still going to be getting killed by it.
Oh, Reeves. Oh, poor Reeves. Just wanted to defend the tower top. I think there was some teleport support on the way. No, actually, they did have a few TPs, but nobody had any interest in defending that tower, so kind of just overextends and gives away his life in doing so. There will be a teleport now, and from the backside comes really, really nice. They found Illidan, but they need a lot of lockdown to bring him down. Under cover of Shadowblade, he'll retreat. He could take the rocket and not take the stun or the damage, and then look to go back in. They have latched on. Jado's been caught. He's low. He will take a spill, and now Illidan backing off. The Spike Carapace being procced by the acid spray there, the poison spray, and Illidan charges up another stun. Goes from the Shadowblade. This time there's a sentry, though. Stop with the dings, Valve. You're going to be the death of me. Illidan will go down, and while that was happening, KSI, he found the Nyx at the shop. So, call it a 2-for-1, and call it another kill. Not so even anymore. Or rather, more even, I should say. Tame My Wild, he will settle the score. He'll pick up a kill with his ult. A bloodbath in the top lane.
Yeah, he's thinking about turning... No, he's not going to think about turning around as soon as likely sim. He has got a decent amount of mana left. Not going to find himself any sort of a rune. Actually picked up earlier, but it's NEXT.kz playing from behind here by a good margin here. They've just been getting out-farmed and just outplayed in most of these clashes so far. 9 kills to 3. Gyrocopter's leading the farm charts, and that's going to be the one sort of fallback plan for NEXT.kz. Is just keep on stacking, stack ancients, stack neutrals, get Gyrocopter as farmed as possible.
Mid lane, Blink, lasso, they're gonna pull him back in. Can they bring him down in time? Oh, yes they can. VP, now that they have Blink lasso, and by the way, they have global silence, which we haven't actually seen yet this game. This is where their lineup gets scary. You can just use global to initiate and then lasso somebody, and there's really no way for NEXT.kz to stop that. Their one really great defensive skill is Disruption. Speaking of that Disruption, Reeves might need to pop it now. There is a sentry. He looks for the stun, but or rather the Disruption, but unfortunately Alchemist ran around. Now the global comes out. He got Fog for a bit, Reeves did. The lift, the drop straight back down, and Illidan, well, he will pay. Nice sentry ward there. The jukes were good. Tame My Wild comes in. Not sure what the plan was, but he'll have to bottle up and he'll have to run away. Pops the stick charges, Bat Rider from the top. Maybe looking to pull someone up onto this cliff and start a little party. He could snipe Reeves if he'd like. He's thinking about it. Stacking up the napalm. Not going just yet. While that's happening, a 3-hero telekinesis stun. Got him on the run. And the chase is on. Here comes Mantis. The rocket giving chase. What a fucker. They're diving the hell out of this one. The ever-living crap out of it. 4 heroes as a unit partying towards the tier 2.
Green Pain with a DD route though. Has some backstab action going on. One scream only on the gyrocopter. Not going to want to risk this one, especially when Gyro does have that Shadow Blade which he can use to escape out of here.
If KSI had his lasso, he definitely would have kidnapped that Shadow Demon, but unfortunately it was cooling down, so not able to do it. He might run into Nyx here, and it looks like really, really nice. Finally has this Vendetta, and will be looking to make a kill happen. There's no global. This could be bad. This could be trouble. ars-art eats an Impale. Meanwhile, a latch on Tame My Wild holds him in place. He's dropping low. Panda Split comes out if they get a boulder toss. Tame My Wild almost certainly to fall. They need a Cyclone. They need something to get in range. The Windwalk is there, but they'll Cyclone the other way. Bat Rider. He will finally kidnap really, really nice. Really, really nice. Gets disrupted. Alive for the time being. Medved, he wants to steal this Panda ult, but he's driven back by what the fuck. I can't do it. We need a clap soon. Pops the stick charges. Needs to get a range for this clap. He drops it. He delivers. And he does find the kill. And there's your Blink Dagger.
Play from VP in these last few fights. Yeah, Blink Dagger and Brewmaster now. This will really help out NEXT.kz. Even when the ultimate's on cooldown, they can still use Brewmaster just as a tanky initiator, just for having a Blink Clap to lead off with a slow. And the other team, VP, aren't going to want to go on the Brewmaster space instead of tanky. So NEXT.kz have managed to claw their way a bit back with these last couple of fights here, and it's just VP getting a bit too cocky and a bit too aggressive.
Yeah, it's like you said. It's more not that NEXT.kz is playing badly, and not to take anything away from them. They've had some really nice engagements, but VP could just be more selective with their fights. They could just use Global, the Blink Bat Rider, rely on smokes, and take safe kills instead of diving up 2 hills around tree lines where there's a tier 1 and a tier 2 bottom, or rather just a tier 2, but still it's more than enough to get in range to counter. They could take safe engagements and come out ahead that way. They've been waiting for really, really nice. Sentry Ward is here. They blow him up in a hurry. Actually, there might be a gem. Global Silence comes out. VP looking for more kills. Reeves is low. They will bring him down. And now Stallcat, no Panda ult. Well, they want to fight while he's not here. Medved zaps, and what a fucka. Teleports home with about 50 HP. Call it even 10, perhaps. The stun on Stallcat. And the chase continues. They have so many spammable stuns, so many spammable nukes, but the call down comes in. There's your Bat Rider lasso, pulling Mantis into potentially an awkward situation, but he's still pretty healthy. He's going in on Tame My Wild. Now a stun on Stallcat. Can Mantis turn this fight around? It's looking good for the Gyro. He's going to find Illidan. Sentry Ward deployed. Mantis might pay, though. Dropping low. Silencer comes in. ars-art wants to be the hero. He is so far, but he takes a latch to the face. And now the turnaround comes. It looks like ars-art should take a spill. Back and forth we go. He's still alive, but there's an Impale.
He's gone skeezing. Queen of Pain getting the hell out of there. The VP just ran out of gas that fight. They tried to keep on taking it to NEXT.kz, but NEXT.kz had the sentries they needed to kill off the Alchemist in time, and they played that fight well. Once again, they traded evenly, but I feel like the position they're in trading evenly is actually not too bad.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Yeah, NEXT.kz, we've seen that gold graph finally peak out a bit, and keep in mind, there's Greeble's Greed at play, and also if Gyrocopter gets a BKB, VP might have some trouble dealing with that. We'll have a bit of a lag spike. Looks like it was a server issue, as the players do pause the game. We'll have it unpause. Seems things have settled down. Let's hope they stay that way. So, guys, if you're VP right now, you have this really early lead. You've got great initiation. What's your game plan from here? You're ahead, but how do you convert this lead into a victory? How do you avoid being eliminated from the Corsair 2013 Gaming Summer Edition? Man, I fucked that up real bad.
It's okay.
That name is hard.
It is hard. And it's funny because Corsair always do this. They always have these ridiculous... I remember we spent a good 15 minutes like practicing saying it at the DreamHack Winter Week. It was like the Vengeance Corsair Gaming Cup. I can't remember the exact order, but there was a specific order and we would fuck it up every time. And it's hard. But if I'm VP, the main thing I feel that they're not doing is just playing organized Dota. It just feels very random and sporadic around the map. If they just sort of have some more organized smoke ganks, group up more to take towers, I think all in all they'll be just in a much better position here. They need just a more clear plan going forward rather than just having... Right now it feels more like 5 individuals rather than one team.
And it's funny because VP have been playing. Granted, NEXT.kz have been. They've had their core together for the longest out of these two teams, upwards of a year, I would say. It's dating back to last year's International 2 qualifier, even before that. I mean, Equal and Mantis have been on the same team for God knows how long, maybe 2 years. But VP have had nearly this exact same roster for like 6 to 8 months, aside from ars-art joining the team, and I forget who he replaced, but yeah.
He replaced Santa.
Yeah, they've been around, like they've been together for a long time. You'd really expect a little more polish from them. It seems kind of sloppy. And the International 3, let's be honest, it's not far off. We have, what, 5-6 weeks before it begins? It's getting close.
It's one of this to me seems like they are playing with one standard and they're not all that focused more than anything. I think VP is a team who, if they wanted to, could turn it on, play some amazing, organized, calculate Dota and just do it. But right now they're just kind of in a relaxed mode. At the same time they shouldn't be, because if they lose this series they're knocked out. But I just feel the fact they're playing with the standard is somewhat just affecting their overall approach.
Too relaxed. They need to stress out a little bit here. Well, they'll get some new items soon. That's the good news. Tame My Wild, he'll have an Orchid soon. The Bat Rider, 4 staff, pretty much ready at this point. I imagine that's what we're going to see KSI go for, as he did stop off for Arcane Boots. Interesting. You don't actually see that very often on Bat Rider nowadays. Normally it's either just Tranquil Boots or you upgrade your boots into Boots of Travel later on. Top lane, we're going to have a teleport. And NEXT.kz, no commitment here.
No, I don't think they did see. He tried to maybe catch someone by surprise with a stun Shadow Blade, but the creep wave was already on his tower, so just continue to farm this Alchemist. He has that BKB, so fights right now will be looking decent for VP, although Alchemist won't have a lot of physical damage. He does have the survivability he needs so that he won't get burst down. I think mostly it's the Bat Rider's the key here. He's got Blink and Full Staff. He can just get free pickoffs whenever VP are grouped up.
I would really like to see them take advantage of their initiation combo, which is the Bat Rider, the global silence into a Bat Rider lasso, or lasso and then an immediate silence follow-up. Because if you get that right, you can kill a hero like the Panda before he gets off his ultimate, and then the fight really will go your way. But they're content to just farm, and although they have a Max Greevil's Great Alchemist, I would rather have a farm Gyro late game, and this Alch is actually not very far ahead. I'm not sure trading is really that favorable for VP. I'd like to see them just take, you know, organized pickoffs whenever they have global and lasso online.
No, I definitely agree here. And they are. This looks better for VP. They're grouped up at mid lane. They've got Queen of Pain in the front lines, which is fine. Queen of Pain, sure, somewhat squishy, but NEXT.kz don't have the best way of bursting down Queen of Pain fast, unless they can get a Nyx Assassin initiation. But they've got sentries there, ready for Nyx Assassin. So they'll put Alchemist, Queen of Pain up front. Bat Rider will be sitting back, waiting for that Blink Lasso initiation.
There is an Orchid up on Queen of Pain. Just wanted to mention that quickly. We might have an engagement here. A Blink, a Lasso. He's kidnapped Mantis towards the south side. Pulls him up onto the cliff. No, can't quite get him there. They want to bring Stallcat down. He doesn't get off his ult, and now this fight could go horribly. The tower even goes to Tame My Wild. BKB on the Alch. No BKB on the Gyro. What a fucker on the run. He's got a Dark Pact. He'll be able to escape. And in the end, well, they'll continue to give chase, but he should be able to leap to the low ground. There you go. And if he needs to TP out, he can. But now, it could be Roche time, or, well, Ancients.
Oh, they spot the Ancients.
Why the hell not?
Alchemist,
How convenient.
Alchemist says, sure, I'll take this. So the entire VP team will help him out here, but this has been some stacks going for a while. And I mentioned this maybe 10 minutes ago when NEXT.kz were even more behind than they are now. Farm Gyrocopter seems to be their way back in this game, but this is denying all of that.
Bat Rider over the trees, trying to start something here. What a fucker, eats a stun to the face. Doesn't have the Dark Pact to debuff it. Mantis giving chase, no BKB. In comes a Flame Break from the backside. It's doing a lot of damage. What a fucker. Dropping low. A blink forward from the bat. Doesn't quite enough to get the kill. ars-art, no global. Even through the mech, he will end up going down. And what a fucker live. Now KSI in the pit. Gods, this is looking a little bit reckless, a little bit sloppy. They'll buy back on ars-art. But remember, he doesn't have global. He teleports in mid. Buyback from the bat. They're really contesting this. They don't want to give up the Roche. There's still a Panda ult. There's no lasso and there's no global. I don't think VP can fight, but they might try to anyway.
They want to try and make something happen. They'll try to get Alchemist initiating in with an unstable concoction and the Shadow Blade. Dire team don't have sentries where they need to right now. There's one over on the right side of the Rojam pit. But that's it. They're actually going to smoke up, and that was right by them. So
there is no lasso. 40 seconds. He used it right before dying, which I feel was kind of pointless, but maybe thought his team could turn this around. Now really, really nice is going to walk into the river. If there's a lasso, it would be a great time to go. A leap. What if I got lifted up mid-leap so he doesn't get the latch on ars-art. Now a BKB. Gyro's finally got it. In we go. Illidan trying to right-click it out. He can't bring really, really nice down. He's only in his regular Alk form, not in big, bad Chemical Rage Alk. Meanwhile, in the pit, ars-art's still lurking there. Really, really nice. Not able to find the kill on him, rather, is VP. They just can't seem to connect on that hero, but they do find the two supports. Now Stallcat isolated. Blink away from Tame My Wild. Dropping low. Not dead yet. Mantis on the run. Can ars-art bring him down? He's got a last word. Over the top comes the bat. And they do find the kill. And all of it set up by the Rubik stealing the Panda ultimate. Now things really going south for NEXT.kz.
See Stallcat go down as well. Last words there. Silencer gets the kill, and they can go into the Roshan pit. They didn't quite finish off the entire Ancient stack, but they're more worried about Roshan now while they can. Chemical Raid, Acid Spray for the minus armor. This will not be the fastest Rosh, but they can do this fast enough before NEXT.kz Raiders.
Now that they have Panda ult and Global and Batrider with Blink, Force, Lasso, yikes. They'll have to wait for the cooldowns. It'll be about 2 minutes, but Rubik should have just enough time to use this twice during the steal, because he is level... does have the level 2 ultimate now, and if they just fight with that, they can easily take a tier 2. If not, maybe a tier 3 or a Brax. So, well, NEXT.kz, they're now in a sticky situation.
Yeah, this Shadow Demon, he's in no man's land. He was looking to sort of do some warning, scout out near Roshan, but Batrider was already Fireflied, scouting out with the range vision, and Slark, oh, he's going to Dark Pack, but he Dark Packs too early. The stun reaches him, and he hasn't got the Dark Pack to get rid of the stun.
That was a blink and a clap on 3, a call down over the top. They get off all the spells before the global, mostly wasted by ars-art. Illidan on the run. He could lose this Aegis soon. He actually jukes away to the south. The latch doesn't connect, and he will escape. A crucial escape for him. Losing the Aegis after that would have been very costly.
They somewhat wasted Global Silence. I think they actually maybe cut some of their losses there. They may have lost even more without it, but it was just a very panicked fight for VP. They hung around the pit too long after picking up the Shadow Demon. They went hunting for more kills when they should have just looked to regroup. Farm some of these lanes. Top lane, there's a lot of farm. They can farm out their neutrals. Get these next items, because they're sitting on a good chunk of gold, a lot of these heroes. Queen of Pain. We've got a BKB. There we go. Queen of Pain, BKB. Alchemist has 2k gold. Building towards what looks to be an Assault Press. Batrider with 1500. All these heroes have new items coming up. They didn't need to force a fight in that situation.
Yeah, they are getting the next level of items up, and BKBs in particular are really good against NEXT.kz. The only thing they have to deal with that is Mantis's right click, which, having gone Shadowblade first and then back for BKB, is rather mediocre. If you go Shadowblade BKB, you really need the next item before you hit hard. Whereas if you just go BKB straight into something like a Demon Edge, into an MKB, that's when you could dish out a lot of damage. But the middle lane item, nice for escaping, perhaps necessary against Bat, but does limit their mid-game. Mid lane, they've gone in on Tame My Wild. They bring him down in a hurry. Now ars-art, trapped, latched, and they give chase. Clap, not available. Mech turns everything around. Illidan hits it through. Hero stun. This could be bad. There's your auto attack. Slap, chop. They haven't brought him down just yet. What a fucka. I think he might escape, but I'm not sure if this gyro will be quite so lucky. Mantis still running. There's no disruption. ars-art backstabbing as a silencer. That's a manly play. He might have just run in a bit too far here. Just kidding. He's got backup, and NEXT.kz lose 2. They'll be forced to run. A 4-staff forward. Illidan not channeling a stun, but he'll start to do so now. Then he gets disrupted. KSI, does he have a lasso? Still cooling down. A 4-staff forward, finds the range, and that's going to be a dead Reeves.
That was 2 4-staffs that helped him out. The first to help him get in range, then he got disrupted, and the second 4-staff after it started channeling. Great chasing coming out from VP. They're not going to get this T2 tower. It's got backdoor regen. They need to get back. Kill this ancient stack or something, go back to farming, and just keep on getting these next level items coming their way.
The VP are really far ahead, and I feel like now that they have the BKB on Tame My Wild, and I imagine Batrider will go for one next, if they get triple BKB, I think they're in really good shape. Because Gyro went Shadowblade first, his ability to punish that is very limited, and NEXT.kz are very reliant on the Panda ult, completely countered by BKB, or like 99% countered by it anyway. Nyx, Shadow Demon, sure you've got Demonic Purge, but it's not actually going to kill anyone. I think these BKB pickups are going to really make this game much more comfortable for VP.
Yeah, totally agree here. NEXT.kz want to try to get some BKBs of their own. They've got the one on the gyrocopter. They want Slack to have his, it looks like. He actually did a great job with his armlet last fight. Not an item you often see on Slack, but some armlet toggling in that last fight saved his life so fantastically. It actually synergizes quite well with Dark Pack, because that gets you down nice and low, but then the armlet can give you a quick boost to your HP.
Yeah, and VP, I guess the nice thing is, even if Slark is getting away with armlet toggling, I feel his presence in these fights has been rather mediocre, and it's because VP have a lot of burst damage. If they land the one stun and then Alchemist auto-attacks him a few times, especially now with an AC, well, he pretty much has to run for his life. And also, the early deaths, the slow start he had are not helping matters either. They jump in. There's your BKB. That's the global. That's the timing they were looking for. They bring down one. They could go for Mantis here. Maybe not through the cooldown slow. They are driven back. They lift up What a Fucka. He does find the Rubik. Now a lasso on that Rubik. He will take a spill. Panda's popped his ult. They all want to get away. There's no way to steal that ult. Rubik on the sidelines. Has buyback available. Illidan marches forward. Remember, he's got Aegis. And this Panda ult, largely wasted. The Aspect's just not tanky enough.
Yeah, and now they're going to breach the high ground here, or at least look to start doing some damage here. Rubik's still there. They're going to jump the Shadow Demon. Easy pickings for Virtus Pro. And Stalcat, there's so little he can do with it. His ult all that Blink Clap. It's a bit of chip damage, but it's almost certain death. He can't even go in to do any damage at all. All he can do is really throw some Drunken Hazes from afar.
That was the kind of execution I thought they would have earlier. Stalcat jumps in. He wanted to he gets the clap off. He gets silenced for his trouble, though. Call down as well. Ars-art to fall. They haven't taken Rax yet, but Stalcat's going to die. Really, really nice now. Isolated. Mantis trying to fight his way out. BKB cooling down for all these carries soon. He didn't get it off. Illidan had a split second where he could have used it, but he can pop it now if necessary. Doesn't need to. Now he does. What a Fucka giving chase again, but just doesn't have the damage. Alk gonna stun himself here. He needs to find a target. Nice Carapace. That's gonna block it. Now Illidan shadow blading away. They've lost two. There's no global though.
30 seconds on his Aegis.
Oh, no.
He wants to die now, really. Then he can actually use his Aegis. He's actually just gonna keep running away. If he knew this Aegis time, he'd just die. He's gonna die now. This is actually good timing for VP. Can they re-engage? Oh, Rubik gets forced up in. I don't know if that was intentional by him or someone else. Alchemist now on the run. Will he die twice? He hasn't got the ultimate, but he's gonna get outside of Sentry range. Looks like he's going to be okay for the time being. May even look to go back in when he's got a Chemical Rage again.
Yeah, that was definitely a self-force stat because NEXT.kz actually don't have one. So I think he wanted to run interference, or it was a misclick, but ends up getting out. I guess it works out.
You can actually track the Alchemist somewhat in Invis because of the Slack when his passive is on or off. Actually, Nyx Assassin goes down somewhere else. You're busy watching them. Alchemist is just toying around almost, it seems, right now.
Yeah, he's channeling a stun. Both the Shadow Blade by Gyrocopter will allow him to get away. A nice leap. Oh, what a fucka. Almost ran into his own Panda, who cannot debuff that stun. But AC is up on Illidan. If they just want to play it safe, they could just get to the point where the Alk is too tanky to die to the Panda ult, to any sort of burst stun, and then they could just work on the racks, and if NEXT.kz try to go in, you global, and you just completely turn the fight around.
And this Bat Rider almost has a sheep's.
He has ungodly farm.
700 gold away. That's scary.
It's funny, he's not your lead farmer, but it sure feels like it. He blinks, he lassos, he catches What a Fucka. There is a Panda ult available. Stalcat comes in now, but gets orchided. Now globaled up. Tame My Wild has his ult. Could maybe dive Stalcat here. A scream and ult. Ooh, I think he had it, but he wasn't 100% sure. There is a disruption still. Actually, with that, maybe not. But even if you just go on him, don't kill him, and then he ults, they can just run away, and then the Panda ults down the drain. In the end, they'll steal disruption. Now a blink, a clap, and ult. An impale onto Illidan storm range. He's trapped in kind of an awkward position, but he'll pop his BKB. He stuns Reeds. He brings him down. Queen of Pain drops her ult as well. Medved on the run. He is gonna fall. One more set of auto attacks will end his life. In comes your Gyro. Still no real item progression for him. He's lacking in damage. The flak's enough though. He finds a kill, and I can't believe it. But VP are still struggling to really come out on top. There's a flame break. Really, really nice. Low, not out of the fight. Lasso as well. There you go. 3 dead. It's going to be more. 4 on the sidelines. That was a team wipe for a second. Slark just respawning now.
Well, they come out on top, but it's once again, VP still look a bit like 5 individual players. Queen of Pain was trying to just kill off a solo Nyx Assassin. The Sonic Wave was used just on Nyx Assassin, and it didn't even kill the Nyx Assassin. Nyx Assassin just got out of there. It was a very weird, unorganized fight again, but VP It's too farm to fail right now. They're going to see Slack just... Actually, Slack forces the BKB out of this Queen of Pain, but they're going to try and go high ground, but without Alchemist, it's very difficult to do.
There's a Scythe, but he got off Dark Pact in time, so immediately removes that and will be able to escape.
The Orchid, I think. Orchid as well. Both got removed instantly.
Yeah, that could have been his death. If he was just a split second slow, I think almost certainly dies there.
Well, Medved's picked up a gem, the stand-in player on that Rubik. He's had a good game so far, been involved in a lot of these kills. And looks like VP are looking to start trying to find ways to end this game. Roshan will be respawning in the next couple of minutes, and that's probably around when VP go for that game-ending push. They'll keep on applying pressure and try to find a teamfight victory, which could lead to a win here, but more importantly than anything, it's about getting...
Oh man, this is a first for me. Aghanim Scepter on Silencer.
I saw a great YouTube video with this and Zeus.
I'm not sure about the applies the current level of Curse of the Silent, but the increased duration is obviously nice, even if it's only 1 second.
It's a really weird Aghanims thing. It feels like, increased duration isn't enough. What else can we add? Oh, let's just give him Curse of the Silence. Like,
it's synergy. It's synergy.
It does make sense because there's silence and then you use the Curse of the Silence.
What a fucker. Lassoed up. Caught, and there's your global. He waited until just the last second. This is 7 seconds of global silence because ars-art is level 17. Tame My Wild finds a kill, but really ars-art did all the heavy lifting there. Stun is going to catch Mantis. Do they continue to chase? At long last, that ult wears off, but it did a lot of work. 2 heroes dead.
Are going to take this to a game 3. They're in a very good position to do so, at least.
I feel like the VP we've seen for the last 10 to 15 minutes is completely a different team from the VP of that earlier 10 to 15 minutes. Tame My Wild will get picked off here, I believe. Blinks away low. Might go down. Panda Aspects giving chase. Could scream and kill off Mantis. He will. Big friggin' plays. But Alk thrown in the air. Now the Panda ult gonna end soon. Can there be a Rubik steal? Medved, he's stolen it, and that's gotta be it. Panda ult on Rubik's side. There is just no way NEXT.kz can fight against that.
I'm gonna bring down Waterfucker as well. Slack is on the run. He hasn't got any invis here, and he goes down. 4 heroes dead. Rax is going to fall at both middle lane as well as bottom lane. You've only got to imagine it. With that, we'll probably see a GG pull coming out from NEXT.kz any minute.
I actually feel like I'm watching Pinoy Dota. These teams, when they're behind, are just very stubborn about calling their GGs. But NEXT.kz, I guess they thought if there's any chance we can pull this game out, to beat VP, if you have, you want to take advantage of every opportunity, even if it's extremely unlikely, because they are a very strong team, and I think we see a tiny glimmer of their potential here towards the end of this game.
Yeah, they had a nice couple of holds here. They actually, this game looked really out of their reach very early on, but then they bounced back and kept things even, had some decent trades. At some point, VP just got too far. Not just the Alchemist, but you have a Backrider with this amount of farm, Silencer with Aghanim Scepter, and Queen of Pain had a pretty formidable game as well, so it just became a point where NEXT.kz were too far behind in items, no matter how well they were defending.
Well, it looks like NEXT.kz is going to get the win unless our admins use the command and console immediately. Everybody's disconnected, but VP did first. Oh man. I feel like Valve should have some automatic way of just not even having to type in a command. But yeah, God's trying to bail them out.
Let's see if they get it.
Is it Dota? I think it's like Dota referee or something.
Oh, Dota ref _ Dota. I don't know. I've used it recently. It'll be in my.
Too late.
Yeah, Dota ref.
The damage is done. VP have lost. The NEXT.kz 2-0'd them. Well,
I gave the wrong command actually. But
well, gods, that's gonna wrap up game 2. We're headed to a game 3.
Yep, we're headed to a game 3, guys. It's on. We've had a long day already. LD's been going strong since 5 p.m. Singapore time doing the Dota 2 Super League. It's now much later than that. I don't know. It's been probably about a 14, 15-hour broadcast for him. But, guys, Game 3 coming up. The last game of today for us. VP looking to close out NEXT.kz. NEXT.kz, they've already taken 1 game, but they've got to take 1 more. Loser of this series gets knocked out of the Corsair Summer Gaming Tournament. It's a lot at stake here in Group A. We'll have more groups coming in the coming days, but today, tomorrow, it's Group A, and right now, VP are fighting for survival, guys. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Game 3 will be live. See you then.
fallen.